3-4. That's part 3, chapter 4. So we've got an interesting chapter here with some developments. But let's talk about Agafya's elbows. I love how these are mentioned throughout the novel. It amuses me. You know what I mean? It's just... And we've got the brother, Agafya's brother, Ivan Matveevich. He's personified as a brown paper bundle. So whenever he walks off to work, that's how he's described, as a brown paper bundle going past the window. So Agafya's got elbows, her brother's got a brown paper bundle. I just like it. So we've got the pair, the lovebirds, are kind of not seeing each other that much because of their agreement, because of propriety. And we get a really nice scene of domestic bliss described. Oblomov has not rented an apartment. He's been to look at some, and they're going to cost a fortune. He has managed to get the power of attorney notarised and sent off to Oblomovka, so he's waiting for a response to that. And while he's waiting for a response, we kind of get this bit where it talks of how he's enjoying the domestic bliss, living with Agafya. This quotation here: "Living here wouldn't be at all bad, really," he thought. "Of course, it's a little far from everything, but it's a beautifully run household, so efficient." So is he slipping back into his old ways? We know that this apartment he's in now over on the Weiberg side is miles away from anywhere. It's very quiet and peaceful. And it suits him. And then we get descriptions of how Anicia and Agafya are getting on like a house on fire. Remember, Anicia is Zachar's wife. And the way that those two are running the household together, they've found their niches. Agafya's in the kitchen taking care of all the cooking. Anicia's taking care of the cleaning and making the house run efficiently. And it says the two women developed an instant rapport and became inseparable. So it's painting a scene of domestic bliss. And you really get that theme coming through here, which is interrupted by the meowing of a cat. She is coming in. And I just feel like the author is really painting that picture for us. And then it's contrasted with how Oblomov is feeling about his relationship with Olga. And it says that he's going to the theatre, which he doesn't really want to do, but it's the only way that he can get to see Olga. So he goes to see an opera that he's seen already multiple times, simply because Olga's going to be there in her box with her family, and he sneaks off to see her during the interval, and at that point there's some other young gadflies standing in the way, and he overhears them discussing him, and one says to the other, "Who's that guy?" And the response is, "Oh, just some Oblomov." "Oh, who's he?" "God knows," he says in French. And Oblomov starts to dwell on this. He can't get it out of his head, and he's like, imposter syndrome. These young guys, they're hoping for an invitation round to Olga's, and who am I? That's what they're all saying. They're all looking at me and saying, "Who's this guy?" And you contrast that with his domestic bliss back at home, where he's sitting. We get a description of him lying on the sofa and lifting his slipper up and down and dropping it and lifting it up again. So, yeah, it's an interesting contrast, I thought. But when he's back with Olga, all that goes out his head, and he's back in love with her, and he's looking forward to the future together, and he's projecting all these ideas of how his life is going to be. as he's done on many occasions. Then we get a change of pace. Zachar comes in and alludes to the fact that the wedding isn't going to be till after Christmas. Oblomov's like, wedding? What wedding? Zachar's got himself in trouble, so he's going to get some of these words that cut him to the quick. And of course he does. Oblomov's like, what are you talking about, wedding? There isn't a wedding. Where are you getting this from? We get a whole scene that develops where Zachar's saying that all of the Alinsky's servants are talking about it, and such told someone else, and someone else told someone else, and of course Oblomov's beside himself. He can't cope with this at all. The idea that it's public knowledge that they're engaged, I mean, that's just beyond the pale. So he's kind of panicking a bit, and it's like a comic scene again. You know, we've had these before, where Zachar and Oblomov are having some discourse, shall we say. Zachar calls Anicia in to get her involved, because apparently she was one of the ones that spread the rumour, and we learned that from what she's saying, no, that's all wrong. There is no rumour of a wedding. In fact, it's the Baron who's rumoured to have proposed, which causes Oblomov to be stabbed in the heart. And he's like, oh my God. So, yeah, it's an interesting scene, and it ends with this, which is quite interesting. It's dead. It's over. The words reverberated inside him. What now? What now indeed, Willow, eh? How are they going to get over this? Well, we'll have to wait and find out in the next chapter. See you then.